So once again, welcome to Cooking with Abba. And like I mentioned, today we're just going to be doing this healthy fortified soup, vegetable soup, light soup, how you want to call it. And it's mainly from bone marrow from either cow, any protein that you like, which has a lot of bone marrow, like cow, goat, sheep. Yes, those ones. And then we're going to use fish. Yes, I already have one that I use tilapia, fresh tilapia. So if you want to use a fresh fish type, so you can watch out for that as well. And you can see the meat is just tearing nicely from the bones, and everything looks good. It takes mwah, mwah, mwah. So to start off, I'm just going to do a salt water bath to actually wash up the squash I'm going to use. So today I'm just using the squash, butternut squash. I'm using beetroot, some onions, ginger, garlic, and carrot as well. And to give it some heat, we're going to be using some habanero pepper as well. So I'm just going to wash up these and I'm going to bake it in the oven. Butternut squash, because it's firm. It's not like so easy when you actually blend it like that for soups. So usually you may want to either bake it or cook it on fire a little bit. But when you bake it, you get a very nice texture, nice taste as well. So I'm just cutting all the veggies and putting them onto the baking pan. Then it goes straight into my oven so that it's going to actually soften up. Then I can actually create the soup base from it. So this is one of the very easy kind of less work kind of soups because all you need to do is to wash your veggies, cut them up, put them in the oven. Once they are soft, you're going to just blend. Then we're going to just do the soup base in just some few split minutes or seconds. So yes, that's a very easy meal. And you realize we're using a lot of vegetables in the carrot has a lot of keratin, vitamin A, and all those ones. Beetroot is also very good when it comes to the blood stuff. Onions, we know, is so great when it comes to its how do you call it? Even the taste, aroma, texture, and aside this nutrients and all those things that it brings in as well. And for the butternut squash, I have a full video of that as well on the channel, how to make purees and all those things from it. So for this one, I'm actually just going to cut it up and then it just goes into the plate. I'm using the seeds and everything in there as well. You can actually replicate this using pumpkin as well. Anything from the squash melon family, you can actually use it for this as well. Then for my baking, I'm going to use a bit of coconut oil. Yes, because it's a bit cold, so it had kind of slept. But then I'm using coconut oil in there because it also adds in more taste as well. But you can use any oil preference of your choice. If you have liquid ones, you can just spray it over it, and then that is good to go. So this is going to go into the oven. The whole thing about the oil is just to make the vegetables um, cook better, not get only dried on the outside. Like I said, I made the smoked fish myself. So once that goes into the oven, which is already heated 200 degrees Celsius, both up and down, it just goes in there as well. So once that is on in the oven, I'm now going to actually work on the bone marrow base. So I have cow legs. So I just pick those with the heavy bones because you want to get the bone marrow in there as well. Then I'm just spicing this with my classic Ghanaian spice mixes, which I have them on the channel. My 10 essential spice mixes. Just check it for yourself. I'm adding in salt and a good amount of water. You need a good amount of water because this, if you have enough water in it as it cooks, you realize that it softens very well and you get very good results. Plus, this is a soup something. We want to be able to drink it as well. So 10 minutes into the cook time, I just checked and then if you think the oil or the things are not well mixed, you can actually just shuffle it up and then let it be in. By 15-20 minutes, you definitely would get that roast because my vegetables were a bit closer to the grill space. You can see a bit of char on it, like a little burn something on it, which is also good. And you can see that as I'm even mixing it up, it's just mushing by itself. The squash is mushing, carrots mushing, everything is mushing. That means that yes, it's actually good and ready to go for the blend. So I'm going to use my power blender to actually blend this to get a soup consistency. Like these days, I don't waste my time sieving because a power blender is just going to just do all the trick for you. So yes, I'm just putting in water cold water. Yes, because it's already hot. So cold water to just cool the temperature. Then I just use the soup function to get this as smooth as possible, because the soup function gives you very smooth kind of results. Then this is going to go into the bone marrow base. So you realize that by the time your vegetables are actually done from the oven, your soup base with the bone marrow would also be very well kind of softened and ready to inculcate everything in there. So at this juncture, you can see that things were going on well, yes. And because of the spice in there, it smells very, very good, yes. And the cow kind of has a little bit of fat, so you get some small oil coming in. And with that coconut oil blended in lightly, you get very good result. So all I'm going to be doing is to blend and pour them in, blend and pour them in. So you realize that this is very much thick, and that is why we used enough water when we're cooking the broth or making the broth. Yes, because the broth is actually your bones with the spice and then the water, cooking it to get that, yes, thing in there. So I'm just going to blend the second part, and that also goes in to the soup base. Yes, so I don't use much of tomato paste or mix. No, I just like to have more beetroot in there as a good substitute, and that gives you less super refined kind of stuff. Yes, the more you can eat the fresh vegetables and things, the better for you. Less processed things as much as possible. So this is like it. We're just going to let this actually boil, and then like 5 or 10 minutes, it's actually done, because the bones have been cooking for 10-15 minutes, depending on the heat you are giving to it. We've also blended the stuff, which gave us extra like 5 minutes. So, if for nothing, you've had this boiling for close to 20 minutes. At this point, we're actually good to go. Then the smoked fish, once it was done, I love my fish head in soups. I love my fish head in soup. If you're not a fish head fan, you can just use the middle part or the tail part. They all go in. I can just taste for my salt. Yes, remember that once I started cooking, I only used salt at the base when I was making the broth. So at this point, I checked and my salt was not enough. I just added a bit more of salt in there. I'd always recommend use more sea salt as much as possible, which is also very good for you as well. So, till I see you in that next food video, please make sure you have subscribed, to make sure you have liked, make sure you have shared. And this is very, very, very like nutrient dense, very simple, very healthy. And especially for those of you who are like not in the tropics, you're out here in the cold, or yes, it's good to get these kind of meals, especially during the winter space. Yes, it's very nutrient dense, which is very, very good. And this is very tasty. It smells good, and it's mwah, mwah, mwah. So I just pack up the rest, and then I just keep it up in the freezer, in the fridge. Whenever I'm ready, I just take it out and then pa. There I go. Oh la la. So till I see you in that next food video, do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry. Lots of love for my team and I. Mwah.